If you are looking to buy or sell any of your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team coins, u4gm.com is the place to do so, and you can use code ELITE at checkout for 5% off your order. We are 4 hours and 29 minutes away from kickoff between USA and Netherlands, and I have probably never been more nervous for a match. I've been up all night. It's 5:30 a.m. when I'm recording this. I already know I'm not going to bed, and I have a very long day ahead of me. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I just can't sleep. In fact, I feel like I'm going to throw up. That's how nervous I am for this game. 8.5 years as a USA fan, so many ups and downs. Getting back into the World Cup, going above expectations for most people, drawing against England, getting out of this group, and now they've got a Brendan Aronson SBC for a showdown with Steven Bergwijn. The winner is going to get upgraded to 88 rated. Now, here's the thing. This card right here can play center mid, and it's going to go straight into my team because I need a Premier League center mid as it is, but it's also Brendan Aronson. And I've got to back him today because although we are the underdogs, I know that we are definitely far from favorites. I believe that we will win. And to all of my Dutch viewers, I wish you guys all the best. I hope it's a great match, but I also hope USA win by 1,000,000. Anyways, guys, we've got a new promo today in FIFA Ultimate Team, which is another one of our World Cup promos. They continue to add on more and more and more cards, and we knew that this World Cup promo was going to be a lot, and it really has been. I mean, there is so much dropping into this game on a daily basis that if you are not logging in every day, or at least, watching the YouTube videos here and keeping up, checking FUTBIN, you are definitely going to fall behind in terms of just understanding what is out in the game right now, because they just continue to drop more and more stuff, and it's keeping people away from building teams, and a lot of people who have teams are kind of falling behind the power curve as they continue to drop new cards into the game. So with all of that being said, we've got to play a little bit of catch up because we've been playing around with Path to Glories all week, and we've made some coins, we've lost some coins. Overall, we are in a positive, but there are so many new opportunities to make coins that we've got to cover in today's video because we've got this new yellow promo, is what I'm going to call it, because the cards, they actually look ridiculously cool. And if we take a look over here on FUTBIN, we can see all of the cards and all of their prices as well. So here are the cards that are out right now. These are the popular ones, and Van Dijk is currently extinct at 1,000,000 coins. So I really like this card. I think his gold card, obviously being still 100,000 coins, is a testament to how good this upgraded card is. But the thing is that if you guys are sniping at 1,000,000 coins, you are playing a very dangerous game. Yes, there's a good chance that it's a lot higher than 1,000,000 once it gets updated, but I'd say there's an even bigger chance that it falls below 1,000,000 because everybody who's been buying those Van Dijk cards, only a small percentage of them are actually buying for their squad currently, while most of them are buying as an investment and probably just using in their squad temporarily. They're buying as an investment, hoping that it goes up. And the longer that this card is in packs and doesn't get a price range update, the more dangerous it becomes. If they update it in the next hour, there's a good chance it'll be over 1,000,000 and you'll be safe. But if it goes another day and then another day without them upgrading or updating this price range, there's more and more in the game. There's more and more in people's transfer lists. And overall, the cards in this promo will drop in price. So once that price range does get updated, let's say they move it to 2,000,000, it'll crash right back down. The undercutting will be insane, and it'll go below 1,000,000 coins. And you'll not only lose coins on the card going down, but you'll also lose another 50K plus on tax, whatever you do end up selling that for. So we do have some cool cards in here, though. Dani Alves, Richarlison, Dani Alves getting his yearly upgraded card for realistically a promo that has nothing to do with performance. These are all just players that are in the World Cup. Now this Cavani card can link with that Suarez that we saw last week in that promo. So a nice little Uruguayan striker force up there. And then the next most popular cards start getting into the Path to Glories again. And there are some Path to Glories that I definitely would look at. One of them is Zakaria. They don't play until later in the week, and they don't have a super easy matchup. I believe they have to play Portugal. So not a super easy matchup for Zakaria, but the card looks ridiculously good. So it's one of those cards that just using your brain and understanding the power curve of the game, you've got a Chelsea Premier League center mid that got 86 pace, 82 dribbling, 86 defense, 89 physicality, and 82 passing. Yeah, they're underdogs, but I think this card still rises into that match. What we saw last week was Milinkovic-Savic. When they drew Cameroon, that card crashed in price, but it rose back up about 30 to 35,000 coins, and it was only going for 140K, so the tax was only 7K, so you're making like 30K profit after tax. It rose like 35,000 coins just into the hype of that match from the day that it dropped in price. Now, this card just got an upgrade. They did get out of the group stage, and everybody's selling off those investments. But as we get closer and closer to the match they play against Portugal, he will go back up in price. I think he will get over 300K easily, which is going to cover all of the tax. Now, I do not suggest you guys risk it and take it into that match and hope they win. Sure, if you gamble, you could end up getting a bigger profit. Now, if you would have gambled with Pulisic, you would have made so many coins. But the risk was just so high. And what we've seen is that if you take that risk, the reward is so much worse, so much less than the risk if you actually look at it that way. So let's go ahead and head over to my Twitter, and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. So I tweeted this out yesterday. Or the other day, I tweeted out that Gnabry is now selling at 35K after getting knocked out with Germany. And he was 110K before the match, so that's 1/3 of the price that he was. 1/3 of the price, and then you've also got a couple thousand coin tax. So you are losing, if you invested everything into this, if you invested 3 mil into this, you're coming out with less than 1 million coins. A huge loss. Goretzka had gone from 1.2 million. He dropped actually all the way down to like 460K at his lowest point. This is when I tweeted it, he was at 600K, but he got down to like 460K. Again, almost 1/3 of the price. In Carvajal, the card who ended up winning, Spain, ended up moving on to the next round. They didn't win, but they did go to the next round, which is what mattered. He went from 220K to 220K. I think he's 230 now. Was the risk really worth it? Absolutely not. It definitely wasn't worth that kind of risk. And of course, Spain were likely to go through, so he didn't rise as much. If you took that risk on somebody who was unlikely to go through, like Kim Min-jae, you would have made more coins. And that's kind of where you've got to take those risks. But going into the knockout rounds, I don't think that there is really any reason to take these risks. The next example is going to be this Zakaria card, because his card went from 261 to 291,000 coins, which is a nice, like, you know, I guess that's how much? 20% rise? No, not even. 15% rise. It's about 15% rise. But I did the math for profit. You are making 6% profit after tax on that card. If you had held from before the match until after, or the day before until after the match, and you are making 15K more profit per card if you held. But if you were on the losing end, like Serbia was, and you're holding Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, he went from 138 to 74, so negative 51%. A 76K loss per card, which is about half. You are losing half of your coins. So the profit was a measly 15K for people who risked it with Zakaria, and then the people who risked it with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic ended up losing half of their coins. So it's definitely not worth it, and you can see it here, 261K to 290 after the match, 138K to 74 after the match. In fact, let's take a look at what Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is actually going for now. Maybe he's in the most popular. He is. So he's gone down a little bit farther, and Zakaria has gone down a little bit farther. So realistically, you don't want to hold these guys after a match at all. Now, if we get closer and closer to the final and these upgrades get a little bit better, I don't know, maybe that changes, but for now, I definitely would not go down that path. So for these Path to Glory cards, you kind of want to look at the games that are a little bit more one-sided and take a look at that. Now, Bruno Guimaraes, we've already seen him rise a ton. People know that Brazil are favorites, probably to win this whole tournament. So these Brazilians have gone up in price a ton. The French have gone up in price a ton. But then you've still got some of these guys like Boufal with Morocco. And I don't believe they have an easy match either. Morocco World Cup are playing against Spain, right? So Spain definitely are the favorites there. But he hasn't risen a ton in comparison to the others. And his card is not bad. It's got 4-star, and another upgrade on this puts him at 90 plus pace. He's already got 94 dribbling. More shooting is going to make him absolutely lethal because you're not going to catch him with that kind of pace and dribbling. It's only 22,000 coins right now, which is kind of surprising. And I get that he was like 14K at his lowest point, but 22,000 coins really shows that people do not have faith that this guy is going to go any farther in the tournament. And it's not a terribly risky investment because if you take a look at the cheapest cards in the game right now for 87s, they're about 19K. Well, Boufal is 22, so the most you could lose in theory is 3,000 coins because that's the lowest it would go until it becomes SBC fodder because it just got upgraded from 86 to 87, and so it is at least going to be 22K. Now, if they do end up beating Spain, and to be honest, Morocco's not a bad team. It's not like we haven't seen crazier upsets in this World Cup. But if you're investing in that card to risk it into the game, you probably are risking an even amount of coins. So if you're going to take a risk, it would be on this guy because, yeah, you could lose 3-4K, but then it stops because then it would just become SBC fodder and people will submit it into squad building challenges. But if it does go up to 88, the minimum it could rise is to get up to 26,000 coins because that's the cheapest 88 in the game for SBC fodder. So it could go up 4,000 coins as well. So when we're looking at cards that we would invest in and take those risks for Path to Glories, that's what I'm looking at. And that's why I think that's a pretty solid idea. I think we've got 12 tokens now and we need 8 more. And of course I could submit this first squad, but I don't want to risk that and then get really busy over the next 32 days and not complete it, which obviously isn't going to happen. I am going to complete it, but we got 32 days, no reason to rush it. But here's the thing, Team of the Year comes out in January and that's a big power curve. Everything at Team of the Year kind of changes because all the cards from before Team of the Year kind of get a little bit more irrelevant. And all of the promos after Team of the Year have to kind of keep up with Team of the Year to be usable at all. Because now that we've seen those ridiculously good packs and cards, we just want more of that. And that's why Team of the Season now, as opposed to what it was years ago, those cards are more are higher rated normally than the Team of the Year cards, just because they need the promos to continuously get better throughout the year. And once Team of the Year comes, because those cards are so boosted, so high rated, so expensive, we are probably not going to see too many of the promos right now be that relevant. Because if they did drop some dead promos that just cannot compete with the power curve, it's just going to get repetitive and it's going to get stale and people are going to get bored. Kind of like it already is with World Cup Stories right now. Yes, we've got another promo during World Cup, as I mentioned. World Cup Stories has dropped the week following Road to the World Cup. And to be honest, I do not know the difference between the cards other than the color. I have no idea why they continue to drop different promos with these different promo names. Just drop a team 2. Make it a little bit easier to understand to the casuals, in my opinion, because there's no reason to drop this World Cup Stories promo and say it's any different than the last promo we saw, because realistically, it isn't. And the reason that that is so good for us traders is we can just look at last week's cards and see when were they the lowest, and we're going to use that to gauge when to buy these World Cup Stories. So let's go ahead over to Futbin, and we've got the list of cards from Road to the World Cup, all these purple cards. And some decent ones, and a lot of them actually. You can see all of these cards right here not selling. Luis Suarez not selling. They haven't updated their price range. They weren't selling on day 1. They're not selling on day 10. I don't know why they won't update the price ranges, but for the cards that have got their price ranges decent and usable. Luka Modric is one of them, and right now he's going for 255,000 coins right now. And if we take a look at his daily graph, he came out on Friday, so he was part of the normal release, and he dropped on the first couple of days, which is why you never buy on that Friday or the Saturday. And then he dropped and dropped until he got it at his low point on Monday, and then he actually rose throughout the week, and he's up to 255K now. So 222 on Monday, and of course, certain times on Monday, you might be able to get him for lower. He's only risen every single day since, and at about 10K tax, you're looking at about 20 to 25K profit per card if you were to sell right now. So really good. And then we look at Montiel, who came out on the mini release, and he came out on Sunday, and then on Monday, he was a little bit lower at 32K, and then he also rose on Tuesday a lot, and he's up to 42,000 coins now. And that's a 10K rise, and you're looking at 2K tax, so 8K per card on a card that's that low budget is really, really good. And then we've got Ben White as well, who came out on the Friday, and he dropped throughout the weekend. And then again, Monday is the lowest point for him, and then he rose, and he's up to over 90,000 coins now. And it looks like, again, still going up, and you're looking at about 4 to 5K tax right here, so you're probably making about 12K per card if you sold right now and you bought on Monday. So Monday seems to be the day to buy these World Cup Stories cards. That is when I would suggest start looking at them, buy them at the end of the weekend, and pick them up then. Obviously, it could change by, a day, give or take, but generally that's the day you're going to be looking at these cards. But here's the thing. There's not only rises with these cards, because if we take a look at Sadio Mane, this card right here, 300 or 530K. If we take a look at him, he was, obviously dropped a ton by day 2, and then he dropped on Monday to 586, and then he dropped more, and then he dropped more, and then he dropped more, and now he's starting to rise back up, it seems. But ultimately, Monday wasn't the right day to pick him up because he continued to drop throughout the week. So with that being said, we could maybe take into consideration that Senegal got out of the group, and then maybe people expected him to get an upgrade and didn't and started selling because people are dumb like that. There actually have been a lot of people who expected those World Cup Stories cards to get upgrades. In fact, there were Twitter polls that proved 18% of people thought those cards were getting upgrades, which is insane. So that could have played a factor, maybe people expecting upgrades and it didn't get an upgrade, but ultimately just be very careful with which cards you try to pick up. And I'll try to drop a video later in the weekend for you guys that is going to pinpoint certain cards that I'm looking to buy, because I've got a lot of Path to Glories to sell, and I'm going to be selling those over the course of the next 2 days, and then I'm going to go ahead and use those coins to reinvest, and it'll probably be in some of those Stories cards. So that's what to look out for this weekend on the YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The secret comment of the day is Savenir. Just use that in your comment, and I'll make sure to drop a heart in appreciation for you making it to the end of today's video. Only a couple hours left until USA versus Netherlands. Less than 4 hours now, actually. Over the last hour I've been recording this video. Less than 4 hours away. I'm nervous. Wish me luck, unless you're from Netherlands. Good luck to you. But I don't mean it. I really don't mean it. I hope you guys lose. I have nothing against the Dutch, but today I just can't be on your side. All right? I hope you get knocked out of the World Cup at the expense of the USA. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.